Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews. It's Thursday, One Piece is out, Black Clover is out, My Hero Academia is yet to be scanlated, but here we are. It's really early, I'm normally at work, but because this little one over here isn't so well, I've had to take a couple of days off to just look after her until she gets better. She's kind of got into a bit of a quiet period right now. She's settled a little bit. She's not sleeping, and she's puking and whatnot. So she's settled in for the time being. So I thought I'd make the video because I wasn't gonna leave her alone till she was asleep. So here we are. Anyway, we're doing the One Piece review. There was 3 main segments. It's not really a 5-point review, but the implications and the connections to the past, amazing. So without further ado, let's get into this review. So, the first segment is between Brook and Big Mom. And basically, Brook's been captured. He's essentially been used like a doll. And there's discussion about different qualities of souls. So, essentially, the soul soldiers that were basically easily defeated by Soul King Brook are nothing compared to the 3 main ones she uses. The hat called Napoleon, Zeus the lightning bolt dude, and Prometheus the sun. As they have the soul of Big Mom in them. Now, they look through his stuff and there's nothing that he's taken. He hasn't even taken a rubbing of the poneglyph. Now, what's interesting is she specifically mentions Roger. She goes, I'm not going to make the same mistake I made with Roger. The implications of that is, number 1, she was around when Roger was around. Number 2, she had this poneglyph when Roger was around. So the idea that she mentioned him specifically adds so much to the backstory without even giving us that much details. Then there was a mentioning of the hearing the voice of all things. Oh, she's drooling. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And basically the fact that they've got someone that's developing the same type of ability, that being Pudding, who has something to do with her third eye. It hasn't been activated. Maybe it's a devil fruit. Maybe it's a bloodline kind of trait. A Kekkei Gankai if you're a Naruto fan. Or something like that. She then takes her Big Mom away and doesn't really mention anything after that. So with that being said, that is pretty much what all happens with that. There's not more reveal, but it's just so interesting, just the fact that they dropped that one thing. Anyway, that is point number 1, I guess, or segment number 1. So, yeah, you're gonna get a lot of these in my videos today. Anyway, so point number 2 or segment number 2 was basically a very it started off weird, and then the implications were brilliant. So the reason why it was weird is because Pedro is now fighting Tamago again, and basically Tamago is like evolving. He's like a chicken that's hatching over time. And basically he's like a Pokemon. So he starts off as an egg, the Baron egg, and then when he got defeated, he evolved into the Viscount, whatever he was, and now he's going to evolve again into a Duke chicken. So essentially he's going from like different levels of imperialcy or kind of power. So Baron, Viscount, Duke, and then he's going from an egg to whoever he was there to a proper full-on chicken. Eventually it might turn into a rooster, but that was just funny. Now, basically to prevent the evolving or him getting stronger, Pedro pulled out all these bombs and gonna blow it to smithereens, ready to give his life. Thankfully, Carrot and Chopper find him and pull him into a mirror world. That's where the implication starts. So if you think about the implications to this, number 1, they're getting the band back together. That's number 1. Number 2, he's alive, so we can use him later on, and he's worried about Brook. So there's a chance he'll go to Brook. Here's the thing with that. If they go to Brook hasn't achieved what he's meant to have achieved, so they may be able to help him achieve that. With that though, we may find out what Jinbie had to give up, possibly his life or time, I'm guessing. Now, with that being said, if they don't go, where are they going to go next? What options do we have? So Kara pulls out this weird ass drawing. Literally reminds me of Jola's art, right? And he goes, can you tell me where any of these are? And they go, the long haired girl is with Master Jinbie. So basically Nami is with Jinbie. So that's possibly where they're going to go next. So that's important because if they basically deal with Nami and Jinbie, that brings Jinbie into the fold. So they've got a stronger group now. And then what it also does is leaves the option of where to go next to a few places. They need to go where Sanji is, but Sanji, which I'll reveal later on, may have his own story going on, and they can go to where Brook is. So them are the two key things. Anyway, thing to bear in mind as well is Pudding and the juice fruit, but one of the main commanders is still with Big Mom, so she won't get involved in the Peckhams, or she won't get involved with Sanji or Luffy. And now moving on to Sanji and Luffy. So point number 3. Now point number 3 is important for a few different things. Let's just talk about what happens, and from a storytelling point of view and the implications, we'll go through it. So number 1, Luffy is running riot. He's running riot. He's going through everyone. They're asking for backup. He gets dragged into a room by Reiju, who basically said, "Look, we know what's going on. I told him to run. He's not going to run because he's scared about what's going to happen to the Baratier." Obviously, Luffy's like, "Yeah, I know. I want to protect him too. I'll go all the way to East Blue." She offers him food, but he goes, "I'm only going to eat from Sanji's hand," and they go to the promised place. Or he tries to get to that promised place where he said he'd be waiting. Now, there's a few things that are with this that are important. Number 1, he didn't get through the whole of that floor. Why is that important? Because had he gone above that, he would end up having to fight another Sweet Commander, and eventually Big Mom. So I think what this does is this diversion ultimately lets the Brook and Big Mom thing play out, or hopefully we'll get more information via flashback or just her memoirs about what happened with Roger potentially. Now, what it also does is it allows for a scene of reconciliation between Luffy and Sanji. There's a theory I was meant to do about the crew and how they always have a type of reconciliation or kind of reuniting. Let's go through it. So the Zoro one didn't really happen as much, but he did his thing with his sacrifice on Thriller Bark, right? Nami was a whole thing with her island. Usopp was a whole thing on the whole Water 7 arc when he said, "Please forgive me, let me go back." Robin, he saved her life. Basically, Chopper never really decided to leave, but he was ultimately gone from the beginning. Same thing with Frankie, and then we had Brook, who basically had his soul return and could live his life. So it worked out well. The only one that hadn't happened was Sanji, so this is their reconciliation moment. Even though he wasn't really bad and there was other intentions, he did say some things and he didn't mean them, but he has to apologize, or he has to at least sort things out. Although Luffy is an understanding dude, it still needs to be said. Without that, that might have a lingering thought that some enemy can use in a future arc. Anyway, so that's pretty much the key components, and like I said, the Big Mom situation is delayed now. It can be let to play out unless the crew go after them, or it could be a situation where we get the whole Sanji and Luffy sorting that situation out, then reuniting with them, then the Pedro situation where we have the proper fight, because then Luffy can eat and heal. Sanji can make up his mind about what he wants to do with Baratier. That needs sorting out as well, and hopefully we can get something from Brook and the Mama Big Mama San, and hopefully we can get the copy of that poneglyph and we can get on with our journey on to Kaido. Anyway, with that being said, that is my review. Hope you enjoyed it. You got to see this little one as well, although she's not completely well. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Peace.